The strange incident of a UFO crash in Chile in 1998. Of the UFO crash events, most people mostly remember only the Roswell incident of 1947. Meanwhile, there have been at least a dozen such cases since then, including a fairly recent one just a few years ago, over 20 years ago. Now, on my Patreon account, I did upload today just a video concerning new evidence concerning the Roswell UFO crash. That it was not just one UFO that crashed, it was three. And each of them had three alien bodies in them, all deceased. Each craft had three, about 3 feet tall. Three craft had crashed on July in 1947 in Roswell. But going back to this, the Chile crash, it was a sunny day, October 7, 1998, in the small Chilean village of Pajuano in the province of Elqui. Several local residents saw a glowing orange gold metal roller in the sky about 15 meters wide. The object hovered over Los Malocas mountains and glowed brightly in the sunlight. The object hovered over the mountains for about half an hour and then rose even higher in the sky, made a sharp turn, and broke into two parts. One part fell straight down the side of the mountain and the other a little lower. The breakup and fall of the UFO was seen by many villagers, and the village mayor, Lorenzo Torres, was among them. And then the following began to happen almost simultaneously. With the fall of the UFO, small earthquakes began to appear throughout the area, accompanied by a power outage. The villagers were in a panic as no one understood what was happening. Soon there was information that they sent a detachment of military police to the crash site of the UFO. It proved difficult to reach the spot as it was a remote rocky area, so they had to leave the cars and go on horseback. When they got to the spot where the separated UFO had fallen, they found nothing there. So it was officially reported, and unofficially something very strange did happen there. First, the entire area, including the village of Pajuano, was cordoned off by the military within a few hours, and second, strict measures were taken so that none of the locals spread information about what was happening there. A press conference was then announced in Pajuano by the mayor, in which he wanted to tell people about what was happening there, but according to rumors, a NASA official called the organizers right before the press conference and told them not to tell anything, supposedly for more information. After that, the mayor of Pajuano immediately canceled the press conference. All the above events took place on the same day, on October 7, from which one can understand how quickly the authorities reacted to this UFO incident. As night fell, residents of Pajuano and the surrounding area began to report black helicopters with no identification marks flying in the sky at low altitude. Then there were reports that military trucks went to Las Malocas mountains where the UFO had crashed. Things got even more interesting when the locals saw the black helicopters carrying pieces of something very large, wrapped in tarpaulin, and this is seen by the residents of Pajuano as well as the neighboring villages of Pisco, Elqui, and Monte Grande. At the same time, strange foreigners, quote-unquote, appeared as tourists in local hotels, considering that this area of Chile is not the most popular with tourists, especially in October. This all seems really suspicious. And in the following days, the local farmers, especially the owners of cows and sheep and goats, began to be disrupted by people in military uniforms, forbidding them to lead animals to graze in certain parts of the mountain. They also mentioned military patrols in all the surrounding streets. This continued for several days until the army disappeared from the area as suddenly and quickly as they had appeared. They did not say anything before leaving to the locals even about their presence there. Until now, no one knows exactly what happened there. After the military left, many went to the site looking for possible UFO debris, but did not find anything unusual since the military would have collected it all before. Later, however, when the researchers reached this place, they reportedly found at the foot of the mountain a kind of a big pit in the ground, 5 meters long, about 40 centimeters deep. Many traces of military boots and also marks from the wheels of military vehicles were found there, a sign that whatever had fallen there had been picked up, and some stones around there had an unintelligible aluminum color. The nearby astronomical observatory of El Tolodo claimed that the crashed UFO was just a weather balloon, the well-known excuse. That's what they said about Roswell as well. But they did not provide any proof of what they were saying. The Chilean Air Force completely ignored the incident and refused to comment on it, although an investigator claimed to have personally visited a witnessing Chilean Air Force officer and asked him about it. Other ridiculous attempts by the government to explain the incident. They said it was a piece of a communication satellite that fell in the area, a remote-controlled drone, an experimental American craft, and finally a meteorite. But many of those who saw the UFO fall on the mountain did not believe any of them, the officials' explanations. And if this was all what they said, they did not send any army to. Why would they send the army to the area? And the well-known black helicopters of what is usually seen around Area 51 in the United States. Please leave your comments about this, and thank you for your support. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.